This is the inhibitor switch for the gearbox. Comes with a washer which goes on this way, and that's the part number for this inhibitor switch. We've got BNB. That particular item was £27, and my 8 spark plugs came to 47. This is the gear inhibitor switch. It has a black and white wire from the center, which then goes off and eventually ends up at the starter relay. There's a physical movement, I think, which takes place in the gearbox. That nipple there moves, that one there, but also that moves. I'm not sure of the actual workings, but it's that physical movement that will only allow it to start in park and neutral. There's a green and brown wire that goes off to the reversing lights, so that when you put it in reverse, these come on. There's a green wire that goes off to the fuse box. I don't think it matters. There's 3 pins here going in. I don't think it matters when you've screwed it into the gearbox whether those 3 pins are that way up or that way up. These will still continue to function in the correct manner. The gear inhibitor switch is on the left hand side, passenger side, UK car. So I've got a cover on mine. Thought I would do a continuity test first, so I've brought a wire in from the fuse box all the way to here and to this. That black and white wire is sound all the way back to the fuse box and the relay, so the problem is going to be in that switch. So those are the 3 wires as they have come off that sensor, so that's how they should go back. I'll just tuck that there and then get to undoing that. I understand you normally get copious amounts of automatic fluid come out, although one gentleman somewhere on the forums suggested he didn't get any, but the reason for that might have been that the car was jacked from one side. Mine is jacked from the front, on the front cross member. I didn't fancy doing it, jacking it from just one side. It's 1" AF, and I can just get a 1" AF spanner on. I don't know whether I can turn it, mind you. Oh, can, look. So that's okay. And it is rotating. So the rest I'll do by hand, and I won't be able to switch this on. So yes, there is tons of fluid that comes out because the hole is so big and the automatic fluid is quite thin. It all comes pouring out. The gearbox, I understand, has about 5 litres of oil. 5 litres of oil didn't come out. I took this out and put the other one back in. I certainly did lose a lot of fluid, but not 5 litres. Given these 2 end ones are both marked with a B, it probably makes no difference which way this has finally ended up sealing against here. A bit of a fiddle, but they have gone on. And I was tempted to use a long nose pliers in the end, but I didn't. And then put this crappy old cap back on, which I wish I'd changed now. I measured exactly how much I lost. It would have been 0.9 of a litre, 900 ml. I had connected up the starter relay using this temporary earth wire so that I could start the car, because this black and white wasn't functioning correctly from the gear inhibitor switch. It's a piggyback connector, so I'm going to disconnect that and see whether it now works properly. On my car, I have an arrangement where the engine will not start, although it'll turn over. As a security theft precaution, we're switched on, foot's on the brake anyway. Park. Okay, we start in park. Neutral. That's fine. Reverse. No connection. Drive. Nothing. Second. Nothing. First. Nothing. Back to neutral. And park. So I declare that a success. And I'm much happier now, because there is always a potential to start the car in any of the other gears with other people, my wife, son, using the car. It's not something I'd want to happen. Because I've lost about a litre of transmission fluid, it needs to be refilled, and you have to fill it down that tube there where the dipstick goes for the transmission. A litre of Dextron 2 or 3. Dextron 3 has replaced Dextron 2. Originally it was Dextron 2. It does nicely remind you that between the lower mark and the upper mark there, it's 1 pint. It also nicely reminds you that when you're checking the fluid level, you need to do it when it's up to normal operating temperature, hot, idling and in neutral. The other thing you need to do if you're going to check your oil level is to make sure you go through the gears, back up and down, so that you've ensured that the transmission fluid is flowing all around.